Hey, good evening, all. Welcome back to J Paranormal. Just wanted to go over some things that I see on YouTube that YouTubers, are not doing correctly, and I would like to speak to in regards to the EMF detectors. People have to realize that the older the house is, most likely the more EMF you will get inside the house, just due to how the wires used to be run and so on and so forth. So obviously, when a house has high EVP readings, yes, spirits can take that energy and they can manifest themselves. But when people go around, and I really like a couple of people on YouTube because they do it right, and they check the correct things. There's also something else I'll go into a little bit later in the video in terms of a couple of people, who have these YouTube videos that I found out for a 100% fact that all their stuff is BS. Again, I would never shout that out, or I would never shout out anybody's name. Again, I understand that, people, this is their livelihood. But when it comes to the spirit world, it's nothing to be messing with. There's an individual, especially one on TV, that I believe he's either 100% full of it, or he is 100% possessed, and his future is going to be very, very glim for him and his people around him. I hope for his sake that it's fake, but it's pretty hard to, debunk some of the things that he had seen. But again, on TV, there's editing, but when it comes to live streaming, that's something different. And it's weird because when this gentleman goes out by himself versus going out with other people, a lot of things are very different. The guy, seems to be a good guy. Also, seems to be honest. But I could pretty much tell you for a fact, some of the activity I've seen on his video, I've only heard or read about, in movies or in history about people talking about what's going on. But like I said, you have to be careful about inviting these spirits. A lot of you guys on YouTube are doing exactly just that. You're inviting these spirits in, whether it be a Ouija box, whether it be the spirit box. You have to realize that communication, you're opening up that portal. I also wanted to get in, going back to the EMF. If you get a high spike, let's say on somebody's staircase for the EMF, go underneath that staircase. I was watching an episode of actually somebody who's not on YouTube, and again, I don't like saying names, but they're very well established, very well trusted, and they definitely caught some good stuff on, paranormal TV. Just, I find it, very difficult to believe some of these YouTube videos when these guys have been at it for 20, 25 years. And some of them, it took them a couple of years to actually capture an apparition or, some kind of poltergeist activity. A lot of it they debunk, which again, that's what I like. Because I believe there are YouTubers out there that are scamming the system, and they're getting all these views and likes because they're setting stuff up beforehand. And like I said, referring back to that one gentleman, I really hope that's, the case for him. Because like I said, if he's possessed and followed around by this gentleman, then he has another thing coming. And talking badly about the spirit is not going to help your situation out whatsoever. But some of these possessions that are on TV, I don't 100%, believe. Again, I'm not there. So like I mentioned in an older video, if I don't have firsthand knowledge, I can't really tell you for sure. But what I can tell you is this one individual, be very, very sketchy about. You could probably guess who I'm referring to. But just whoever's video is out there, just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I know a lot of kids are actually getting into the paranormal, and they have to be very careful. I mentioned this in an old video. I told my son if I ever catch him with a Ouija board or anything that would invite a spirit, whether into his body, into his life, into our house, no go. And I hope you guys would do the same for your children as well. Because, the world's scary nowadays. And, all these fallen angels or all these demons, they want to take over. Once God placed them, back down into the earth as fallen angels, their job is to go out and to prove to us that I would say that the devil does exist now. In the past, there's a big saying, and I said it in a couple of videos, that the biggest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing he does not exist. Well, he does, and I believe something's going on out there. The amount of exorcisms and the amount of complaints have absolutely skyrocketed. Yes, a lot of those complaints could be attributed to, the wiring in the house. Like I said, if you have a strong electromagnetic field in your house, and this is absolutely proven, it could, create your imagination to run wild. It could create you to see things or hear things that are not there. But it's very important. Go into the basement, check out how everything is wired, maybe do some research on the architecture of the house as opposed to the history, even though I believe the history is very important, and see where these wires are run. And again, if the house is naturally in an EMF field that's very high, and if people have complaints about seeing apparitions and stuff like that, that's, again, they need energy to manifest themselves. They need energy to show themselves. And what better energy than a human body, obviously. So that's why a lot of these people who go into the haunted houses, they feel very slush. They feel very, if that makes sense, they feel very confused. They feel lightheaded. They get sick. And it's the energy just sucking the life out of you. Literally just sucking the life out of you. So I hope that cleared up a little bit in terms of the EMF. Now going back in terms of individuals who are just doing this to kind of BS, to, I guess, what you guys call clickbaiting. That's something else I wanted to talk about. There's some videos that I click on, and because the picture, the content, and of course the content lures you into the video or an article or whatever it may be, has a picture of something, and you think you're going to see that something, and you don't even see it in the video. That's what I call clickbaiting right there. And I see a lot of people doing it, and hey, they're successful at it. They're getting a lot of subscribers. People are getting paid, very, very good money. Obviously, if you see the amount of my views and my lack of subscribers, I'm not one to have this channel to monetize off of it. I'm just here to educate you guys and to make sure that you guys are aware of what you're doing. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a great holiday and a great new year, even though I'll probably post one more before New Year's. But again, happy holidays to all, and Happy New Year.